Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. And for the Grue Rume Show today, I got some awesome guests, and they're the cast from this new holiday film called The Gift That Gives. And here we go.
How long ago
Oh,
was that?
here we go.
I don't
Anyway,
know. I was trying to
we're
figure
getting
out.
into stuff that.
Yeah,
we're
sorry.
getting
I was
into
just.
stuff that we should probably.
I
be
trying
talking
to work
about.
out how long ago the film was. It was a while ago.
Awesome. Well, okay. Well, thank you both for coming on the show. It's really nice having you both on here, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess like the first thing I want to start out asking you both is a typical question right off the bat is what drew you to this film and how did you get cast as the leads?
You go
You can go
first.
first.
You want me to go first? Okay.
you go.
I've always sort of followed Joy's work. I've worked with her before. Like I had a smaller role in one of her films.
Mhm.
And I just, every time I watch her films, they leave me, walking out with that sort of uplifted feeling of like, I want to be a nice person. So yeah, and she approached me really late for this film because I'm not sure what happened with the other actress or whatever. So I came in very late. She was like, I've got this role, read the script. These amazing people are on board. So yeah, I mean, what was I going to say? Of course, I was straight in there. So yeah, no, I loved so much about the script. Just this sort of uplifting positive messages, the fact that it's so diverse. And it's just a feel good Christmas happy film. And I hadn't actually done that much feel good stuff. A lot of the stuff I do is quite dramatic and I don't know, like, and I have to dive into like these dark places. So it was nice to do something, I don't know, that it's just uplifting on that level for the audience and for all of us as a cast and crew. So yeah.
Yeah, for me, Joy being the director, reached out and showed me the script. And one of the things I loved about Joy, or love about Joy, is her willingness to collaborate on things. So she was open to ideas that I had and changes in the script and helping develop it. So that's always nice as an actor to have a director who's willing to let you sculpt a little bit and bring
Definitely.
some of your skill set and things to the page. And like as Lily was saying, it's a nice joyful part of the bad pun, joyful film. And it's always not. I'm not one of those actors who has that feeling that they've got to. All the work they have to do for artistic sense needs to be deep and dark and heavy and have some crazy message that needs to communicate some sort of bigger thing. I think there's a huge importance for entertainment in the world. I think that brings a lot more, or it's underestimated how much that can bring to people's lives.
Yeah.
And so I think the more of that we bring, all the better. So why not be a part of something that helps do that?
Exactly, yes. And like these Christmas films, holiday films, like they're most of them are like usually shot in these like little small towns in Canada. So where was this film shot at?
I was
Sydney.
filmed in Sydney, yeah. All over really, from you've got the harbour in the background for mine and HaiHa, who plays Linda's date, and through to Western Sydney, which is all the interior house stuff. So it's shot kind of a bit all over, a bit of northern Sydney as well.
Wow, okay. A- and do
And
you
no
have
snow,
like
no snow, no a
No
Christmas
snow.
with no snow. I like that too.
do you have like those little small towns too? Like how they how like Canada has like all those like little Christmas towns. Like do you have like your own
I don't know
little
if you'd call them
Christmas town?
Christmas towns, but usually all the horror films in Australia
Yeah.
are set in small towns, not so much the Christmas films, which is partly, I think, because we don't have the snow during Christmas, which makes those small towns quaint. They're generally in fairly remote locations, which can look menacing, which is why they lend themselves to being in the horror genre, I think, or
Yeah.
thriller genre. but they're definitely quaint, I'd say. But they just don't get the snow and have the forests surrounding them and that kind of thing. The dry Australian bush has more of a mystique to it than the deer-filled conifer forest that you might have in Canada.
Okay, okay. And how is Christmas like over there in Australia? Like, how's the Christmas season like?
You're probably best to compare this, Lily, because you've had Christmases
Well,
everywhere.
I've grown up with both, so like I was talking about earlier, it's so different. At first, when I moved to Australia, I was like, oh, we're not having like a big roast and a turkey, and it's not cold, and oh my God, it's boiling hot, but now I just see Christmas is hot. Christmas is about barbecues, swimming in pools, going to the beach. So yeah, it's very different, and I like it.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's very much a hot Christmas. Generally got some sand involved. There's a bit more seafood than perhaps
Yeah,
elsewhere.
no turkey.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because growing up, we still had a turkey or whatever, but you're eating this really hot meal and it's 30 degrees outside or I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Fahrenheit kind of thing, and it was a bit ironic, but definitely as Lily said, you're heading to the beach at some point, enjoying the
Oh,
sun.
wow.
There's a lot less clothing probably than a Canada Christmas.
Okay. And
I've never done a white Christmas though, where it's freezing with deep snow. I'd love to
oh,
do that
really?
at some point. Yeah, because in
I've
England
never done
it's
that.
cold. There's never snows on Christmas, never.
It usually rains, right? Doesn't
Yeah,
it
it
rain
rains,
over?
then it might
Yeah.
snow up like in February, and then you're like, oh, yeah. So I've never actually had a white Christmas. So yeah, I would like to do that at one point in my life.
It's definitely fun. Yeah, because I mean I live in Philadelphia, so I've seen plenty of them, and it is fun to open the doors sometimes and see the snow on the ground on Christmas Day, and it makes you think you're in like a film.
Yeah, I've only actually been in the snow like once, and then I've had like on a hike or whatever a tiny scraps, but it's a foreign experience to me.
Okay. Well, see, you both have to come over to Philly or
Yeah.
New York or Los Angeles, and see when it snows, and maybe it was snow around Christmas one year. You never know.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, there you go. And with this movie, the gift that gives, Callum writes a book. The book is called the title of the movie, and he has his television gig that that Kate hosts. And how is shooting that scene like with Kate and Callum for you both?
Well, it was quite late in the shoot, so by that stage we had quite a good rapport, which was nice.
Oh,
So kind of made it a lot of fun for us to play. And we're in a fairly, like, it was a good set for it, that it looked like
It
it felt
felt like we
like
were on a TV set. It felt like we were on a television set. So yeah, it was
oh,
good.
really?
Yeah, well, it
yeah, we
felt
had
like a
production
TV
camera and
studio
everything.
because it was all set like dressed as a TV studio. So yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I think it was a uni space that was
Yeah.
built up as a production set for the students to train in. So for us, we were able to step in, and it very much felt that way. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then
Yeah,
it
and
was
it felt
actually the
very
best.
easy as well, that scene.
Yeah,
I don't know
and
whether it was so, it was a TV interview, so it just felt, I don't know, you were very easy to work with, obviously, as well. But it just, yeah, it was nice.
and it was the best part of that day for me was watching Lex, the late great Lex, who only recently passed, dressed as Santa, playing that he's got a pin stuck in his butt, and just being generally hilarious as he was through the whole shoot. But yeah, sadly he did pass recently, which was a big shame.
Yeah, and at least you got to laugh at him from the side. I had to keep a straight face. I didn't really get off with him, actually. It's ruining my show. But yeah, he was amazing to work with. Really, really lots of fun and just a really down to earth guy.
Oh, nice. And like during the film, I mean, anyone who watches it and sees it, like you kind of think Callum and Kate are gonna like start dating or end up together, but then the whole
Oh, my
twist
character
happens.
thinks that. She definitely thinks that.
She definitely thinks that, yes. But you know, you throw that twist in there where he falls for her friend, but then she falls for his brother. So it's like a little twist in the relationship there. And how did you both feel about that? About you both going with different people?
I think for me, I think it was a wake-up call for me when she sort of realized that Callum was not interested in her and interested in
Mhm.
her best friend. And I think that's when Kate suddenly had this realization that actually the way I've been doing things isn't quite the right way, because she sort of speaks without thinking. I think she's got this idea of how she wants her life to be. She, you know, and she does want to move on in her career and do her own show, but it wasn't till that moment where she's like, oh, and she's really down, that she sort of slows down. And that's when she goes and reads to Austen and she starts reading Callum's book. And I think that really sort of helps her slow down, and then she can sort of find herself and find what actually really does make her happy. So yeah, I think it's a bittersweet, you know, that moment where I was rejected. Someone goes off with my best friend, and it's happened before, you know, like, and I think she needed that moment to sort of step back.
It was a nice
Definitely.
reversal of that thing where often it's a guy's interested in a girl because she's just being nice to him. And from the girl's perspective, she's just being a nice person. And in this case, it's Callum is just being a nice person to everyone he meets, and Kate falls for that. Meanwhile, then he meets Linda in the bookstore, and that's where the Kate's kind of the lead up to that meet cute, so to speak. I do feel bad for Kate though, because Callum calls her and asks her
Oh,
if
good. I'm
Linda's
glad you felt a bit
single, and just
bad.
and Kate's face, Lily's face during that, this is pretty sad. How awkward from seeing that side. I mean, you know, from Callum's side, he's stoked. He's like, yeah, Linda's not dating anyone. I've got my shot. From
Yes,
Kate's
exactly. Yeah.
side, it's devastating.
Oh my God. And so Kate and Austen stumble across the letters, the love letters, and it keeps you guessing like who's writing them. And Lily, you think like the love letters is what bonds like Kate and Austen together?
Yeah, well, I definitely think it was something. I think the book bonded them a lot, as well. But yeah, definitely
Mhm.
the letters. It was like, oh, this. Where is this from? Or like, you know, I want to know. And obviously, I was obviously a bit worried about him because he was, you know, one of his parents he thought was, you know, up to no good or whatever. So I, you know, there was that too. Um, but yeah, I think it was like Takaya's character who sort of went, like Callum, who went on the mission to sort of find out what was going on.
Yeah, and to put you two together as well, there was a sneaky mission from Linda and Callum.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, they're always on a
but
sneaky
that's
mission.
it sort of brings up a nice thing about the film. It just does start off as your traditional rom-com. It sets up this triangle that becomes a square of
Mhm.
characters that, you know. And when I first read the script, I thought that um, it was going to be one of those things where it'll be Linda and Callum, and I guess this is spoiler alerts for anyone out there, but
I know, I
Linda
was
and
like,
Callum at the start, but then he realizes Kate's the real love, and obviously that creates a lot of tension. There's a lot of roadblocks created through that. But it's nice that it goes from this rom-com, it switches to kind of a whodunit, which creates
Yeah.
obstacles for the relationships themselves. But it's a nice twist, and it it shies away from the traditional path that you'd see for a rom-com, so it makes it a little bit more interesting than other ones which fall into the same rhythm of all rom-coms in that way.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And like what I like about it, and I know like a lot of people to watch are probably gonna like it too. It's like Joy did such a great job, like finding the cast. It's a very diverse cast, and are you both happy with the cast that Joy picked for the film?
Yeah.
I was gonna
I
leave
mean,
it for
since we're part of it, I think that it's the
Well,
best
yeah, of
cast
course.
ever cast in the world. No, the wonderful the wonderful thing about what Joy does with her films is she brings a lot of joy to the set as well. Not just her person, but the emotional joy.
Yes.
And in casting, she asked for my opinion on a few different actors and that I knew or whatever. And one of the things she was looking for was people that would turn up on set and would bring joy themselves. Not that she used that
Oh, okay.
word, but who were easy to work with, because we shot it in like 9 days. It was an incredibly fast
Oh, wow,
shoot.
that's a
So
short
when
time.
you're shooting that way, then you need people who are yes people who are, oh, here's the challenge, let's get into it, not here's the challenge, complain about it, or that kind of stuff. So
True.
in that sense, then you're going to naturally have gravitate towards the film people who are that, and that makes it a joy on set, because any problem that came up or any issue that we had to solve, everyone stuck in and was willing to do whatever they had to get it done and to shoot it as fast as we did. So yeah, I love the cast, and we all got along really well, which was lovely.
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
that's awesome.
I agree. Like everyone was just so easy and
Yeah.
so just easy going. Yeah, and we had to be working at that speed. So yeah, it was
Well, yeah, it's a short time.
great cast and crew. The crew was awesome as well. So yeah, um, it was great.
Nice, nice. And is there any scene that you both had the most fun shooting?
Oh, the most fun. Do you have one, Lily?
Probably when I pushed HaiHa off a chair. Like I was spinning her. We actually had a lot of fun. We had to dance around. We were dancing around. We were having like this girly fun. And I
Nice.
was spinning this sort of egg chair, and I just spun her so hard because I was getting into it, and she just went tumbling to the floor, and I felt so bad. But she was fine. She was fine. Luckily, she was sort of protected in this egg chair. But yeah, no, that was just I really enjoyed those sort of girly scenes, because I haven't really had, I don't know, you don't sort of have that fun that you have as so much anymore. Now I'm married and got kids. Do you know what I mean? With your friends around. I just jump around my kids, not my friends. So yeah, I really enjoyed those scenes we did together.
Yeah.
For me, there's probably 2 different scenes that were a lot of fun,
Okay.
for different reasons. The first one is the first scene we shot, which was mine and HaiHa, who plays Linda's date scene, which was a really tough first scene to shoot because it's 7 pages, and we're turning up.
Oh,
And
wow.
we met each other on the day, and then had to shoot this massive scene first up. But what was so great about it is that during that, HaiHa and I discovered that we had a really good chemistry, and it made it so easy. And we ended up going and having dinner and uh, not spending the night, but spending the rest of the night with each other, just getting to know each other a bit better. And we just connected really well. So that was a great scene for me and her, I think, to just know, okay, we're in sort of safe hands here. We can trust each other. We know that our stuff on screen, we can work together and make it feel real and bring some life to these characters that the audience can respond to. And then the second scene that was a lot of fun was probably filming the Christmas lunch, because all
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
characters are there. You end up having Atharv and Genevieve come in as the so-called other people, the other man and the other woman in the relationships, and there's a lot of calamity. And then obviously Lex was improing things all over the place to make it hilarious, and it was just nice for all of us to be there. And filming those scenes are quite technically difficult because there's so many characters that need to be getting their
True.
coverage and stuff. But with these people, it just made it a lot of fun. It never felt like hard work, which was awesome.
Oh, wow. Okay. And what do you both like doing between takes?
there wasn't much time between takes.
Oh,
There wasn't
yeah,
much
because
time
you
to
were
chill
shooting.
out and chat to anyone. Well, because it was all very quick, like because we had so much to shoot in such a short time.
Yeah,
I kind of
yeah,
missed that hanging around, chatting, but we just didn't have much time to do that. So yeah, I felt like it was always sort of ready. We'd finish something and be ready getting into wardrobe for the next scene or moving on or whatever. So yeah, because we had when we were in the house, we had a few different days where we were flashing back between Christmas lunch and then going, and then I had my scenes with Damien, who played Austin, like in the rooms, and yeah, so it felt quite. Yeah, I don't know what I did in between. bit of time for chat, but not much.
okay.
I mean, I come from having been on a soap opera Neighbours which is now available in the US on Amazon, for 8 years. So which is also a very fast-paced shooting environment. So for me, generally in between takes, obviously it depends on, when it gets really serious or it's really heavy, sometimes you want to try to stay in that energy. But with something like this, it was very much, I find, just trying to stay relaxed and calm, keep the energy on set light, because I think when that energy's around, I think the results are a lot better. I think people, no matter what the scene is, enjoy seeing actors enjoying what they're doing.
Oh, of course.
I think it brings a special energy, which people might describe as chemistry, to the screen, and so for me, it's always about just trying to keep everyone in that calm and happy place, no matter how stressful a shoot could be, no matter how quickly
Yeah.
having to shoot and try to solve problems. Trying to maintain that kind of energy is the best thing to do.
Okay, okay. And
Yeah.
I mean, I know you didn't have like a lot of time outside of doing your scenes, but was there any funny or cool stories from the set?
Oh. Is there one to go? I don't know.
I'm
I just
trying to.
think I don't know. We had a lot of laughs in between as well. I do remember laughing a lot. I remember Michael, the first AD, was really funny, so he made me laugh a lot. I
Nice.
don't know. I can't think of any like specific stories. Can you, Takaya, of anything that happened?
Like you said, it was
Yeah.
a shoot full of laughter, so it's kind of
Mm.
hard to point anything
Yeah.
out. And because we're shooting so fast, I think those stories you get from other actors and other things of like prank wars and that kind of stuff. We just didn't have time to get into that,
Yeah.
So it was
There was no
really just
time for messing
capturing.
about.
Yeah, we were just, trying to have those jokes and stuff in between, which were off the cuff and relying on the wit of people like Lex to get that across the line. But I'm trying to think of anything specific, but yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna ask you some like Christmas stuff now. Like, are there any Christmas holiday songs that you both love listening to during the season?
I'll go with Feliz Navidad, that one. That always makes me get up and dance and like just, I don't know, it's just a really fun song. And I like the Pogues
Good
as
song.
well. Oh, I can't remember what the song's called, but do you know the Pogue song?
No, can you sing it?
Um, yeah, and the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day. Da, 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 da. It's like they're an Irish band. Okay, I'll shut up now. I'll Google it later and be like, oh, God, the name of the song. But I like that song. It just about in England, they all like I spent Christmas in England and in Ireland, and they always sort of played that in the pubs. So it just reminds me of like those carefree days, just sitting in the pub on Christmas Eve, which I don't
All
do.
right.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I'm terrible with song names, but I'm a
Oh,
big fan of like the old crooners and their versions of songs. Um, it's quite fun. They're easy to sort of sing along to too, at least for me, because they're in a decent register. But But yeah, I'd say I'd go with the, the more old school crooner um, style Christmas songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
A bit
Okay.
Bill Crosby as well.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. And what about holiday films? Like, what kind of Christmas films do you like?
Oh, I've got to go with Love Actually, don't I?
I was about to say my wife will say Love Actually.
Love Actually. I haven't watched it yet this year, but yeah.
The Grinch is always fun. That's always a
Oh
fun one
yeah,
to
that's
do.
always a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yep. And what about I know like I mean I don't know if it's like that there. I mean in the States, like everyone around Christmas time they get sweet tooth and bake a ton of cookies. Like do you have a favorite cookie around Christmas?
Oh.
I just don't get the cookie thing for Christmas. Like I'm in New Zealand at the moment, and they do have they give out Christmas cookies. Like you're
Oh,
buying.
okay.
Yeah, I've never done that. I don't remember that being in Australia. Did it? And then England, we weren't into cookies. It was all like just Christmas pudding. And I actually really like
Really?
Christmas pudding, and I actually really like Christmas cake, where most people don't like
Oh,
it. So yeah.
I love
what's
Christmas
in the
pudding with
pudding?
plenty of cream. So yeah, the cookie thing probably really isn't an Australian thing. I do like gingerbread men. They're like
Yes.
a bit of a treat around
Same.
and Christmas.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, we don't have like different kinds of Christmas cookies really.
Okay. So what's in the pudding, the Christmas pudding? I know pudding's big, like in
Yeah.
Australia and in England and stuff.
It's just loads of like steeped dried fruit, like apricots or sultanas. And then they
Oh,
usually put
really?
brandy in there, so it sort of soaks in the brandy, and it's yeah.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
And then you put it with lots of cream, like Takaya said, and it tastes really good.
I like that. That sounds amazing.
It's worth a try. You should give it a try. Maybe this
Yeah.
I
Christmas.
definitely should. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone in the United States makes that, but I could make that. I could look online and look at a
Google
recipe and
it,
do
Christmas pudding.
it.
Yeah, give it a go. Why not?
Exactly. And do you ever wear like on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, do you do like the sweaters, the ugly sweaters?
It's too hot. We have to get the you just get matching pajamas. So that's like my family's got like Grinch matching pajamas.
Oh, nice.
It's like
Okay.
shorts and t-shirt basically. It's just yeah, it's too hot for. I used to love the Christmas sweater thing in England, like
I think
wearing a
I've
really
once
bad one on Christmas Day.
I think I've once worn the ugly Christmas sweater
Yeah.
type thing, but it only lasts about 5 minutes because it's too hot for it. Usually it's the Hawaiian shirts with various different Christmas accoutrements on them,
Oh,
or
okay.
the pajamas is a big one as well. You'll often see families who
Nice.
have their Christmas pajama sets, which is quite cute.
Yeah,
Oh,
do
all right.
the family photo.
Yeah. And so what is your actual Christmas traditions, like Christmas food that you like to eat on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day?
Well, I do like the traditional Christmas a dinner, but it is nice also getting like some lobster and some
Ooh,
prawns. That could be because obviously the produce we get in Australia is really good, so that can be really delicious and again nice when it's a hot day. And obviously Christmas pudding with the cream is or a pavlova. If you haven't had pavlova, that's also got a lot of cream on it too, which is also
oh,
very
really?
yummy. Yeah.
Ooh, this is sounding really good. Like
You,
I
you, you
want
need
to
to
try
come
stuff
away
with a
for
lot of cream in
Christmas.
it
How about you, Lily?
Um, I don't know. I would say, well, you did used to love the big traditional Christmas dinner with the turkey and the mash and the Brussels sprout. I love Brussels sprouts, actually. I still have to have those. But
Brussels
again,
sprouts are good.
it's too hot and you just feel too full. So now, yeah, I'm happy to just have like seafood, like the grilled prawns on the barbecue. And I still do the Brussels sprouts, but you can sort of like fry them with like with cranberry and nuts and things, and just make it really yummy. So yeah, I've let go of the traditional Christmas dinner, and I'm all for the Australian Christmas. So yeah.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. Not, I'm
And
a big Brussels
you don't
sprouts
feel
fan.
so full. You don't, like in England, you used to just eat and eat and eat. You'd have all at once, dinner, and then you'd just be like, oh, and everyone would just sit down and watch TV. Nothing else to do because it's freezing. But yeah, you need to go swimming at the beach and stuff. You can't eat a massive dinner like that. I mean, you can, but it's hard to swim.
Okay. You know, my mindset on that pudding now. Like I have to do
Yes,
it. Like
I haven't had the
I have to
pudding
try.
for years. I might have to try and do it this year. Now you've got it in your
Okay.
brain.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And I guess the last question I'll ask you both is basically, where can fans watch the film and also follow you both at?
You
Um,
know?
it's kind of everywhere, this film, but you can find it on Apple TV. I know. I'm trying to remember what the
Channel, is it still on Channel 9 in Australia? I think it's
in
on.
Australia it's on 9 now. And I think is it Amazon that's got it in there? I'm trying to remember because it's on different places all over the place. So I'm trying to find the email now, which tells me
An email.
what were the places it's on air in the US. It's just across digital platforms in the US.
Okay.
So I know that if you search for it on Apple, it'll come up and you can rent it there for sure. What was it? So if you want to find me, Instagram is probably the best one, at Takaya H. So TAKAYAH. Or just look up Takaya. You'll probably see me pop up because there's not too many of us.
Oh,
And then yeah, I'm on all the other social medias as well. So they'll be able to find me. It's the advantage of having a unique name. You're generally easy to find. And if worst comes to worst, just go to takayahonda.com and they're all on there too.
Yeah, and I'm
sounds
on
good.
Instagram under Lily Brown-Griffiths, and Brown is a very, very popular name. So then I added my husband's name on the end, because yeah, Lily Brown just got lost. So it's Lily Brown-Griffiths with one L.
Yeah, Brown definitely is a common
Oh,
name.
it's one of the most popular names in the world.
It is, yeah. Well, thank you both so much for taking time and coming on and doing this. It was really nice meeting you both.
You too,
Yeah,
Rocco. Thank you.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Definitely.
And I feel very
Thank you.
Christmassy now, so
Yeah. Need to go have some Christmas pudding.
yeah. And
Yes, I want some Christmas pudding. Yes.
yeah, I'm sure people will enjoy watching the film because it brings that kind of, you walk out with that energy of feeling, I don't know, good and happy, and yeah.
Yeah, if people watch it, then come and let us know on our socials what they thought, good or bad. You know, I'm willing to take criticism. So let us know.
He's like, I don't. You know, someone is really trashing it though. Like you're
Yeah,
gonna
but
have
then
to
they're just mean.
stand up for the film.
Hey, the way I look at it is if good or bad, you've made an impact and enough to make someone want to say something. So without being rude,
Yeah, with that being
everything. I'm open to everything. So yeah.
He's like, okay. Well,
I might.
again.
No, I will.
You can give all the positive comments to Lily, and you can give all
Yeah.
the negatives to me. Maybe that's how it can work.
Hey, you're throwing it out there now. So I mean, I really hope no one has a negative comment about the film, but I don't. I mean, the film was really good, and like you both were saying, like you definitely do leave the film like feeling happy, and it's Christmas time, so it's good to see how Christmas is like, especially me living in the United States. It's good to see how Christmas is celebrated outside of the States.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Because you know, we see obviously a lot of American shows or English
Well,
shows or
yeah.
whatever that show their Christmases. Um, so we get a feel for what they are, but I'm sure you don't have much of an idea of what an Australian one is, which is obviously so
Well,
common to me.
now like I didn't even know about pudding, so that shows you how much
that's
I know
English, so
about
that's
it.
different.
Yeah, but pavlova, that is the
Pavlova, yeah. Have you come to
New
Australia
Zealand
for
Australian treat.
that?
Yeah, it's really
Okay.
simple. That's really easier to make than the Christmas pudding. So um, yeah, try both maybe. Yeah, or look up both. See how you go.
Okay. All right. Okay. That sounds like a plan. Well, again, thank you both so much for coming on, and Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
All right. And